just going so slow. Here we go. Hello, Monica.
Good evening. Good evening.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Can you hear me okay? Technical challenges. Hello, Monica, again. How are you?
I'm well, darling. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for joining me tonight. For those of you who are watching, you guys know what to do. Show my guests some love. Let me know that you are here. Hello, Wendy Lee. Hello, good people watching us tonight. Let us know where you are watching from. We are going to have a great conversation tonight. I have Monica Dawn here. She's family. She's my sister cousin. But more importantly, she's going to share her personal testimony tonight. And we know that it's going to bless you guys. It's going to inspire, it's going to encourage all of you who are watching and those of you who are going to watch the replay. So for those of you who do not know me, I am Lena Lassiter. I'm an advanced grief recovery method specialist. I have my master's in human services counseling. I'm a director in corporate America, author and founder of Forever Healed. Well, what's Forever Healed? We are a nonprofit and we help those who are suffering from a loss of any kind. We help them to recover, to restore, and to reclaim their lives. So we offer one-to-one and group grief recovery classes. We present the grief and empathy training in corporate, and we facilitate grief trainings in churches. And we are also proud partners of the Richmond Police Department Homicide Support Group and the Richmond City Sheriff's Office. So again, tonight we are joined by a very special guest to me. This meant a lot to me, Monica, to have you on here. Monica Dawn, I'm going to let her introduce herself, but I will tell you that a mighty woman. She's the owner of the Dawn Event Center in Atlanta, Georgia. But not only that, I've heard that you have recently started a new travel business as well. And I think there's something else going on. But in October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Monica, again, is going to share her personal testimony. And again, I know that it's going to encourage all of you. So Monica, just share with the people, who are you? What do you do?
Good question. I do a lot, but of course, as you says, I'm Monica. Here in Atlanta by way of Richmond, Virginia. Always have to represent my home. But on that note, I love doing events for a living. So, of course, I own the Dawn Event Center here in Atlanta. Used to dabble in taxes and accounting for about 10 good years. As you said, we recently just launched our new travel agency. So, yeah, it's called Dreams Destination. So we help people find wherever they want to go, discount rates, things of that nature. And I've also forgot to tell you that we've now dabbled into some owning real estate.
Oh,
So
wow.
properties now, renting out homes, things of that nature. So that's been pretty exciting over the last year, actually. Yeah, I forgot to tell you that.
Wow. So not doing much, huh?
Okay, so we do a little. But of course, my favorite job, my favorite thing to do is spend time with my grandbabies.
Yeah. And she has two adorable grandbabies, y'all. I love them, love them, love them, love them.
Yeah, you try to take them home every time you come visit. That's not good.
There's hope. There's always hope. All right. So let's just jump in, right? So again, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Monica, again, thank you for being here. What I would like to share is that everybody's different. Even if you were diagnosed, the way that you handle it, the way that you digest it, the way that you journey through it, it will be different. So I just want to definitely say that, right? There's no one size fits all.
Right.
But there are some people who may experience anticipatory grief after receiving a diagnosis of breast cancer. And what I mean, for those of you who are watching, they start to think about Monica like the things that they could possibly lose, right?
Right.
To include their life. So they just start to think about all these things that they could possibly lose. Breast cancer can form in women, in some cases men as well. There are several different types of breast cancer, to include ductal carcinoma. My mom was diagnosed with invasive breast cancer. So the kind of breast cancer depends on which cells in the breast turn into cancer.
Right.
And there are also different stages and grades of cancer. So tonight we want to focus on hope beyond the diagnosis. So Monica, I just want you to kind of walk us through your journey, if you will. And before you start, I want to share something that you shared with me that I thought was pretty profound when we had a conversation, and it still resonates with me to this day. And I want to say that I still live by this when I'm dealing with other challenges in life. But you said to me, I remember just asking you about, how you felt when you were diagnosed, right? Just talking about that, just as family as we do. And I remember you saying to me, I've never asked why me. I've never asked why me. And you said, why not? So let's just jump in right there.
Okay. We can do that. We can do that. Well, for starters, I never felt that it was important to say, why me? I've had a lot of obstacles and challenges in life. And even through the midst of those, I never asked God, why me? It's more like, why not? Okay. Evidently, you never know why God allows certain things to occur, or why he allows you to go through this or go through that, or lose this person, or whatever the situation may be. I never felt the need to do that. I was more of, okay, all right, this is another challenge. Let's go. What do I need to do to fight, to beat this, and to still live a long lasting life? Even before that, when I discovered that I had lumps, my partner and I were in Kenya, and I kept having these sharp pains in my left breast. I was like, "Ooh, what was that?" And it prompted me to feel, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I feel something." And I found these lumps, these hard, big lumps in my breast, and that I never felt before.
Wow.
And in that moment, I was like, okay, well, there's nothing that I can do about it now. I'm on a whole nother continent. What am I going to do? All right, let's keep enjoying this vacation. Let me see Kenya, let's travel and continue on. There was no need of getting down in that moment, because there was nothing that I could possibly do. We came back home. I think we were gone for almost like 3 weeks. And so we came home, and I went ahead and scheduled a mammogram. And in that moment, right after the mammogram, they told me to sit tight. Okay. Anytime a doctor tells you to sit tight,
Right.
or let me take this back. Anytime a technician tells you to sit tight, something is going on. They immediately took me in to get a 3D mammogram. And I'm asking her, I said, what do you see? And of course, they can never tell you,
Right.
for liability issues.
Right.
But God had already told me what it was when I was in Kenya. What I didn't know, Lena, was what the extent of it was. And so in that moment, I think maybe a day or so later, I got a call. And I sat down with a intake nurse type of person, a counselor. And she was giving me all these brochures and information that I needed to have, because as a business owner, I didn't have health insurance. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? In that moment, they diagnosed me with stage 1B breast cancer. After that, they go in, they do a biopsy. I did a scan, and to discover that it had already metastasized. And what that means is that it had already traveled to another part of my body. So in that moment, I was then diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer to the liver, which was very devastating. You know, it's hard to process that you feel healthy. You know, I work out all the time. I eat well. I cook most of my meals. And I felt great. I didn't feel down or bad in my body. I didn't feel sick. And then to have a diagnosis all of a sudden when you have these two beautiful grandbabies that you in your life, and then you found out that you have stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You know, it was a history. It's just, there was a slew of emotions that came upon me. You know, to have to call my mom and my dad, that was tough. Um, to hear the tears of my father over the phone, and I hadn't heard or seen my father cry since 1995. I remember the day.
Wow.
And to call my sister and to hear her cry, you know, to hear your mom fighting back the tears because mommy's trying to be tough and trying to be strong for me, you know, her baby. I know that it wasn't easy. But in that moment, Lena, I knew that I had to fight. I had to fight because this can't be a death sentence. You know,
Right.
life and death lies in the power of your tongue.
Yeah.
So ever since my diagnosis, I've just been trying my best to speak life. Every cancer patient will tell you you have emotions all the time. You're gonna have good days. You're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have ups. You're gonna have downs. Um, it's just, it's been interesting to say the least.
So Monica, I know, you know, as a family member and, you know, going with my mom, you know, when she was diagnosed, right? And just hearing all of the options being thrown at her. It was overwhelming for me, right? As a family member, not even the one who was going through it. But can you talk to us, if you want to, about like your treatment? Like, how did you decide like what treatment options were best for you?
I really didn't have many.
Okay.
It was either, you know, try to go totally holistic or take chemotherapy. And I can tell you that, you know, with my mom and my dad and my sister, oh no, you gonna take this chemotherapy, you know. You gonna fight, you know. Our parents are like, okay, calm down, you know. I'm not saying I'm not going to, but even in the midst of doing the chemo, I still do holistic things. I do a lot of natural herbs and things of that nature, making my own sea moss, you know. But in that, when I first started chemo, it was terrible. You know, I have this port in my chest, that sometimes it is irritating even now. You know, I feel like there may be a pull in there. You know, you have something artificial in your chest that's going into
Right.
your heart.
Right.
The first rounds of chemo, I had 3 different types of, I call those poisons, that they, you know, prescribed for me to take every 3 weeks. I mean, my nails were black, getting black. I had, oh, let me back up. So I shaved my head, by the way, months before I got diagnosed.
Mm.
I had no idea that cancer was going to be upon me. I know I had locks down my hair by my back for about 24 years. And I woke up one day and I shaved it off. A couple months later, I tattooed it. I don't know if y'all can
I
see it.
love it.
Yeah, but I got a whole tattoo on this thing, right? So I think God was preparing me, because he knew I couldn't have taken my hair falling out. So with that, I didn't have to worry about my hair falling out. I had a bunch of blemishes on my face, dark spots on my body, rashes. I had loss of taste. I had mouth sores. It was just, I was in pain a lot. I wasn't able to eat. I was starting to look really frail and skinny. And then they released this chemo drug called Enhertu, and it has changed my everything. I
Wow.
now am able to eat. My weight is back up. Even though my nails still look kind of funny, at times, I don't have all the side effects that I used to have. I'm not as tired all the time. I believe the worst time is the week of chemo. Well, I'm
Yeah.
tired and things of that nature. But the one great thing that has come out of this, and I'm sure you're going to get to it, but the one great thing that's come out of it is it's restored a lot in the family,
Yes.
and it has shown how much strength that God has put into me. And I'm amazed by it. I'll go into detail that. I don't know where you're going with this conversation.
Yes. We're just having a conversation. I love it. I
Yes.
love it. But you said something too earlier about the hair, right? We talked about the anticipatory grief. So some people
Yeah.
were stressed out about the possibility of losing their hair. So I have talked to clients and other people, and I was like, you know what? If you feel like it's going to be traumatic for you to see your hair going down the drain or on your pillow, you take control
Right.
and go ahead and just and shave it off. So I'm glad that you went there. But yes, one thing that I've been practicing, Monica, and this year is finding gratitude in everything. So regardless of what I'm going through, there's something to be grateful for. So thank you for driving us in this direction. So while I know you have good and bad days and you're very transparent about your journey, so I want to thank you for that too, because not everyone is brave enough to share their story, but you share it with all of us. And I personally appreciate that. But even with, with me going through my mom and her diagnosis, there was a restoration of a relationship there, right? To be grateful for. So something so ugly brought about something so beautiful. So let's talk about your journey. And you kind of tapped on it a few moments ago. Just the reconciliation sometimes with the family and that support is just a beautiful thing in the midst of
Yes.
something that can be so ugly.
So, I'm sure that and some people that follow me on Facebook, I have documented. God inspired me to document my journey, and I used to record a whole lot in the beginning. I've been going through this thing now. I was diagnosed in January of 2022, and I've now lost track of how many rounds of chemo I've had. I know that I've had over 19. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a whole lot. But in that, it's difficult sometimes to be completely transparent. Some people are like, well, how do you show the world what you're going through? And I don't know why God permitted me to do it, but I have noticed when people reach out to me that it's encouraged people.
Yeah.
That even those that are not going through
Right.
cancer treatment, some people may be going through other things, whatever that it may be. A lot of people have reached out to me, and it's been a blessing to me to be able to bless someone else. With that, it has restored relationships in my family that I never really thought would be restored in the manner that it has.
Yeah.
I have an older sister that I love and I adore. And I never felt that we were as close as I wanted us to be. And through this diagnosis, we talk all the time now. And we're not talking about cancer. We're just talking.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we call, we laugh, you know, and it's been wonderful. You know, I've always felt that after I became an adult, you know, I'm a very headstrong individual. So, or some people, my family might want to call me hard headed, whatever. Tomato,
Yeah.
tomato, potato,
Mhm.
potato.
That's pretty much it, y'all.
You
But
know, I could be a little hard headed sometimes, you know, stubborn, do it my way or no way at all. Um, However, I've always felt that my father and I didn't have the relationship that I wanted. You know, as a kid, I was a daddy's girl. And then obviously my mom and I are like this, you know, we're two peas in a pod. But even through the diagnosis now, my dad calls, we FaceTime. I now visit, you know, stay overnight, you know, things of that nature. You know, he sends tickets for my partner Don and I to come home. Those are things that never happen. And it's just been a blessing. I'm watching family members reach out that I haven't spoken to in a very long time. I mean, God has he's orchestrated some things. So I don't know if what the reason why I'm going through this. I always know, you know, I've always learned in the church, what we go through is not always for us. It's not always about us. It's for someone else.
right.
And if it's for me to bear this cross for someone else in my family, whether it's my children, you know, my siblings, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, so be it.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, and I also, believe that like when I always say we're growing through something, right? So when we're
Mm,
sometimes it's not just about getting to the other side. Sometimes we just want to get to the other side, but it's like how
right.
have you been transformed, right?
Mm,
In the midst
right.
of it, how has God restored in the midst of it? And it
Right.
sounds like there's been a lot of restoration,
Mm-hmm.
happening, even in relationships. So it's amazing again how something that can perceive to be so ugly, but it can be used to glorify and to restore and to heal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. Let's see. Somebody got some comments. Yes, Cassandra. She said our pastor just said that. Ah, and Miss Pat said, right, Marisha, because she put hard headed on here. Marisha, you gonna be in
Uh-uh.
trouble.
See, that is not nice. That is not nice to talk about me like that.
So, Monica, speaking along the lines of family members and friends, in your opinion,
Yes.
um, what should family members and friends be cautious of when supporting a family member who has been diagnosed with breast cancer? What do
Ooh.
we need to know?
For starters, sometimes just check on us. You know, we don't always need something. Just to say, hey, you know, how's your day going today? You know, every conversation that doesn't need to be about your treatment.
Right.
You know, we already know that we're in treatment. For those of us that have ports, we know every single day that we're in a battle. Um, just that alone is enough sometimes. You know, what I don't like, what I found out that other survivors don't like is when people tell you, "Hey, call me, let me know if you need anything," you know, and then you do that and you don't show up. You're not there. Sometimes we just need you to come through. We just need you to do what you say you're going to do, you
Yeah.
know, and be a woman and or a man of your word. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's it.
I have I have said that over and over and over again, even on this platform, right?
Right.
If you say you're gonna show
Right.
up. And sometimes we know what people need. Sometimes they just need a listening ear.
That's
At
it.
this point, sometimes it's just somebody just to call and say, "Hey, how's your day going?"
Right. Right.
Hey, do you need a ride? Can I just come and join you? Whatever it is, like we know what
Yes.
people need, right? Just be there. And if you say that you're going to be there, show
Show
up.
up. Absolutely.
Show up.
Yeah.
Show up. That's what people need. Let's get some more comments. You are looking so well. You are a strong queen.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Cassandra, the empty words. Yes, yes, yes. Follow through. Yes, yes, yes. Follow through. I'm going to say this too, because, and you might not say this one, but this is one thing that I have found. Like when we do grief recovery classes,
Mm-hmm.
we tend to, talk about unhelpful comments and sometimes hurtful comments, right? And sometimes people mean well. I mean, they really do. Well-meaning people will say some silly stuff sometimes.
Right.
This is one thing that just irks me. When somebody said, "Well, they don't look sick," and I go, "Well, what does that look like?"
Right.
They don't look sick. So unhelpful, sometimes hurtful comments, right? So when people are going through, let's just even be careful about the things that we say, because that is not helpful in any stretch of the imagination. So let's even be careful, like what we say out of our mouths.
Absolutely. I had someone to make the ignorant comment one time to me. It's like, I think you're lying. Ain't no way in the world, you got cancer.
Wow.
The old me probably would have smacked the person. But see, the new me, I just looked at them and I smiled. I said, you shouldn't say everything that comes to your mind. Um, in that moment, I said, why in the world would you think someone would speak about having such a disgusting disease if they didn't have it?
Yeah.
I was taken back in that moment, and I have heard, oh, well, you don't look sick. What, why do I need to look sick or ill or broken down? What does that look like to you? That's irrelevant.
Right.
Do you not know the God that I serve? I don't
Come
have to
on.
look like what I've been through to
Right.
not be going
You
through.
better say it. Come on.
So in that, God's children, we function differently. My faith is so ginormous, and it has been my entire life. I have crazy faith. I don't know if I'm crazy or I got crazy faith, but whichever way that it goes, I don't have to look ill. I don't have to look broken down. Even at my worst moments in my life, I don't need to look like what I go through. I'm a king's kid.
Come on.
Yes, we are built differently. Yes, because we are built differently. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just people do have to be careful and mindful. I see a lot of different cancer patients when I go get treatment, and we all look differently. I believe that some people that come are probably getting dialysis. I think we're all in the same room together, and I'm grateful that I don't look like I used to look. If you go back to look at some of the old videos that I had, some of them I you could tell that I was going through something. But each treatment, all cancer prescriptions, I would say, they have different side effects. So they'll cause your body to look different and respond differently. Like for me, I'm that person that takes on every side effect.
Mm.
There hasn't really been many side effects that they say that you can get that I haven't had to go through.
Yeah.
Which is rough.
Yeah.
Today's a good day.
Yeah.
Today's a good day. Any day that I'm on the other side of the dirt, any day that I wake up and my feet can hit the floor, any day that I can pick up the phone to call my mom and my dad and my kids and my sister and see my grandkids, that's a good day.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good day.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And we have a question. What advice can you give someone that is going through to maintain staying positive?
Surround yourself with people that have the same like mind that you have. Do the things that you love to do. Don't stop living, because you're here. No matter what you're going through, that day that you open your eyes, you're here. Live every day like it's your last. I'm not saying be stupid, but live every day. Don't live with regrets. You know, um, that's the main thing. I surround myself with people that are joyful,
Mhm.
that are happy, that speak life, that want to still do business. Because keep in mind, I'm still a businesswoman at the end of the
Yes,
day.
yes,
People that want to still make moves. I'm not. I haven't stopped planning for my future because I am still here.
yeah.
So that's the advice that I would give.
I love that. So it doesn't matter what advice you have been given, diagnosis that you have been given, you still have life to live. Just keep living. And Monica, you have. I watch you and your businesses. I watch you still exercise, and I try to keep up with you, honey, and can't do it sometimes. But hey, growing your own food, you still love, to cook and to spend time with your family. You are living. You are living. And I love that. And it's a great reminder, opening our eyes, putting our feet on the ground. You have something to be grateful for. We're still alive. Live it up.
Lena, I was telling someone the other day, I said, I was like, we all have an expiration date.
Yeah.
We don't know when that is, what's going to take you out. I'm sure that there are people that thought they were going to live until they were 100, that unfortunately their life was taken at an early age.
Right.
I'm sure that there are people that are 80, 90 years old that thought they would have been gone a long time ago because they were
Right.
hellions as teenagers,
Right.
So we never know. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. As they say, we don't know the day nor the hour.
That's right.
So live while you can live.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Just live. We do have an expiration date, and some people, Monica, will have like anxiety, like around the diagnosis, right? And you're so busy stressing out about this diagnosis. But to your point, who says this is going to be the thing that calls you home?
Right.
And yet we are experiencing anxiety and stress, over these things. Like we have to live. We have to plan to live. I love the fact that you are living, sweetheart, and that you are encouraging and you are inspiring, because again, you inspire me. And when I watch you work out, and when I'm at your house and you're cooking, and you're just so full of life and you're so full of joy, that it's inspiring. And again, yeah, we know that every day, some days are more challenging than others, but you're transparent about it and you move through.
You have to.
And you grow through. And I respect that. And I love that about you. So I had to have you on with me in October, because I knew that you were the one that can come on here and inspire and encourage and uplift, others, because that's what it's all about. And we have some comments. Yes, just live. Yeah. One of my favorite ladies in the world. I'm going to have you on next. Talk about that book, A Living Testimony. Yeah, who is still allowing your light to shine. Yes, she is, Mama Shirley. Yes, she is. Beautiful sister.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Monica, before we close, so where are you now in your journey, in your treatment journey?
Well, I'm still going through currently. But I am confessing and claiming my healing, complete restoration. And they say that I will have to have some type of maintenance treatment for the rest of my life. That's what they say. Um, they say if I stop, then the way that my cancer is, it could easily consume my body. So when I started, I had 4 masses in my left breast. My last scans, there's nothing that's visible in the left breast. I had 4 tumors or 4 lesions on my liver. There's only now 1 that is visible.
Wow.
And it has shrunk and is maintaining its size. the last time the scan.
Come on.
Tomorrow at 1:30, I have my next scan. Over the last week, I've had a brain scan. Nothing has metastasized to the brain. I have had my bone scan. Nothing has metastasized to any of my bones. My counts have been great. My white counts for the last several treatments have been where they need to be. Before, they were too low to get treatment at times, and I had to have a stimulator for my white blood cells. I said, no, I'm no longer going to do that. And I started to pray, and I started to do my more holistic, natural things. And now my white blood cell counts have been up every single time.
Come on.
My echocardiogram on my heart has been what it's supposed to be. Like I said, tomorrow is my CT scan, and I'm expecting a phenomenal report. Meanwhile, that's where we are of what they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm going to believe the report of the Lord in the midst of this. You know, today I am up, I'm cooking, I'm baking, you know. So today, like I said, it's a phenomenal, phenomenal day. Lena, I appreciate you more than words could ever express. I appreciate all the candid conversations that we've had during this journey. I appreciate you and my wonderful cousin, aka your husband, coming to visit and eating at my table. I appreciate all the prayers because I know that you pray for me. I know you're not one of those people that say, oh, you're in my prayers, and I'm really not. You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that God is allowing me to be on your platform. And I pray to God that there's something that I have said and or done that has been a blessing and an encouragement for someone else that's going through. You know, I will say for anyone that is online listening or hearing the repeat of it, the replay, that if you are going through, it's okay to have those days where you cry. It's okay when you have those days where you don't know what to do, as long as you don't stay there too long.
Yeah.
Because I have them. I have the days where I break down and I say, God, I don't want my mother to bury me. That thought alone is what brings me to tears.
Yeah.
So I fight like hell so she don't have to. You know, I have desires in this life, and I know that God hasn't forgotten about me.
No, he has not.
He has not forgotten about me
No.
because he's able.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's able. Even if he doesn't, I know that he can. You know, I just want God's will for my life to be done, whatever that looks like.
Wow.
So when I get that report, I'm going to praise him. I'm going to praise him in advance. I'm going to praise him during, and I'm going to praise him afterward.
Amen. Amen. Woo. Woo. Monica, I think you have done what you set out to do tonight. And I think anybody who's watching this tonight, who's going to watch the replay, you're definitely going to be blessed and inspired and encouraged. And you're going to find some hope. Again, thank you, Monica, because you did exactly what I wanted on this platform. You know, and we talked earlier, guys, about showing up. And this is not patting Lena on her back. But what I'm saying is when my cousin reached out and told me that she needed to see me, I got there. I dropped everything to make sure that I was there. So I just want you guys to remember that tonight. Because when you have a family member that's going through, sometimes they just need your presence. And when they tell you that they need you, just let's show up. So Monica, again, thank you. Thank you for being the warrior that you are. Thank you for being so transparent, because we don't know, again, how our testimony will help and encourage others who are going through or maybe going through after you. But I tell you one thing, we're going to know how to make it through. We're going to learn how to grow through by watching you do it so gracefully, so faithfully, and so openly. So thank you.
My pleasure, darling. Thank you.
Thank you. So we got a couple of amens and so trues, and thank you for coming on. So guys, I told you I knew this was going to be a treat tonight. Just an authentic conversation. I hope that it blesses you. And even if you are a caregiver to someone who's going through, I want you to be encouraged tonight as well. So I want all of you to have sweet, peaceful rest tonight. You can still comment on this post if you have questions. I'll make sure that we reach back out to you to answer all of your questions. Again, if you are in the Atlanta, Georgia area and you need somewhere to have an event, do not sleep on the Dawn Event Center, let me tell you. And now she has a travel agency. Monica, say the name of the travel agency one more time for the people.
Dream Destinations.
Dream Destination. So Monica is your girl, and now she's even dabbling in some real estate. So keep living. Keep living, sweetheart. Keep living.
That's the plan.
Be encouraged, everybody. Be uplifted. Peaceful rest. We love you guys. Good night.
Good night.